What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jared here with Almost Scents once again. So if you like talking about fragrance, reviews, what smells good, what just came out, be sure to go down below and hit the red subscribe button and go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. So as you can tell from the thumbnail, this video is about Acqua di Gio Profumo by Giorgio Armani. But before we get into it, gotta tell you a little bit of a backstory. So, believe it or not, I wasn't always Almost Scents. I wasn't always into fragrance. So, it all started on Christmas. So, me and my brother, I do have an older brother. I'm sure he's gonna see this and he's gonna respond. But so it was Christmas, and like most parents do, oftentimes, when all else fails, they're gonna get you a gift set. So definitely very appreciative of that. So on this particular Christmas, I believe it was maybe at this point 4 or 5 years ago, my father presented us with 2 fragrance or cologne sets. One was, I believe it was Burberry Brit, and then 2 was an unknown at the time, Acqua di Gio. So now my brother, for some reason, got to choose first, which to this day it still needs to be looked into. But nonetheless, let it slide. So now, me not knowing what an Acqua di Gio is, I saw Burberry, I wanted Burberry. So he goes first, he picks, and he takes the Burberry Brit. Now, I didn't know what it smelled like. I had no idea. I know that Burberry makes pretty decent quality scents at a very affordable price. I haven't quite picked that one up yet. I may this winter. So, I didn't get the fragrance. I got this one. I wasn't disappointed. I was just unsure about the situation. Fast forward, I had them just sitting on my dresser. I sprayed it a couple times. It smelled almost old man-ish or boring, or I didn't like it. I thought I got duped. So I put them up on the shelf to never be smelled again. Until one day I was on YouTube and I was watching probably my favorite YouTuber to sit and watch, which is Big Beard Business. F the box. I always wanted to say that. But I've reached out to him a couple times and he's always responded and been real helpful, so appreciate you, Big B. But he was speaking in a video and he was talking about how this scent or this fragrance is one of the best selling, best smelling fragrances of all time. Now, I had been watching some of these videos for a while and it was just very entertaining to me. I like to smell good and to be well received. So I'm looking and I'm like, that bottle look kind of familiar. And he's talking about it, he's like, they love it, it works in all scenarios. And I was like, not only do I have one, shit, I got 2. So I was like, I got something here. Thus forth, started wearing it, watching more videos from all the guys like Jeremy Fragrance and such, Jensen's, and then I just started getting into them, buying what I could at first. But it all started with this bad boy right here. So first, before we get into the actual smell, let's get into the presentation. So you have a nice gloss or a glass. Looks almost like it's frozen, like a frozen glass bottle here. Very heavy, feels very good in the hand. It's almost like it's a smooth, expensive feeling matte glass here. You got the Acqua di Gio on the front there. Now, they have a very nice, smooth magnetic cap that snaps into place. Now, this one's pretty full, I don't know if you can see. This one, however, has been sprayed mightily and it's on its last legs. This is the one I typically use. Smell the same. I typically spray this one for the sentimental value of the big one. When I run out of this one, I might not really ever run out or spray that one in its entirety, you know, first fragrance, kind of hold on to it. At this point, I want you to stop and tell me what, or comment down below and tell me what was your first fragrance and give me a memory or an experience with that scent. And shoot, if it was Acqua di Gio, tell me about that. All right, we're back. So, went over the presentation, got the cool Giorgio Armani logo on the top. Now, getting into some of the notes. Now, this came out in 2015. This is the flanker to the original, the OG Acqua di Gio, the EDT. Now, this is an aromatic aquatic with top notes of sea notes and bergamot. You definitely get the sea notes. It feels very showery, I don't want to say salty, but very aquatic up top, aquatic and fresh. It's very bright, clean, crisp and clean, very crisp. So boom, in the mid, you get rosemary, sage, and geranium. So now, to me, this is when the gentlemanliness of it comes out. Not sure if that's a word, gentlemanliness, but if it is, used it correctly. So you have, like I said, rosemary, sage, and geranium. So it becomes a little bit floral. A little powdery. Almost a sweetness. So I definitely get that bergamot, that citrus sweet, bright, smells amazing. So then in the base you have incense and patchouli. So now that's really more so in the dry down. Now that's really what shines for this fragrance is the incense and the patchouli, the nice earthy, inviting, I like to think of it as a very mouth-watering patchouli. Now the incense smells very rich and decadent and a very high class and value. So this fragrance definitely smells expensive. This is maybe something you might wear to really anything. An interview, going on a date, going to class, going to the gym, going to the store, shoot, going to the club. Now, it's definitely a performer. So when I've worn mine, I live in Florida, so sometimes in the high heat, it can get cloying pretty quick. So I try to stick to maybe 2 to 4 sprays. I try not to overdo it. So performance, it projects. It's very similar to the incense, definitely a Bleu de Chanel, and it's also similar to Dylan Blue by Versace. Now this one has its own, just fresh and clean. It just smells so refined. It smells like a refined businessman, clean cut, smooth. You know, you cannot go wrong with this scent. So in my opinion, I would say that this scent is timeless. It never gets old. It'll never get old. Ladies love it. So, you know, I got a story for you. So I remember one time I was wearing this to a local lounge, and I was walking past a young woman I was familiar with at the time, and I gave her a hug, and I'll never forget this compliment. She gives me a hug, she leans in, and she says, "Ooh, you smell like a grown man." Thank you. You know, I couldn't, she kind of caught me off guard with that, so I just kind of took the compliment and just kind of kept pushing. So it's very inoffensive. So you won't necessarily stand out on a unique scent, but you will smell amazing. That's all I have for you today. Acqua di Gio Profumo. Other than that, like I said, go on down below and tell me about your first fragrance. But that's my time for you all today. You already know what it is. It's your boy OMO. Peace.